So I wanted to take this opportunity to introduce you to one of our older students at the Carter School, Ari. She's 19 and blind, has CP, and is non-ambulatory and dependent on others for all self-help skills. She does speak, but most of her words and phrases have been echolalic over the years. When she first came to us, she was one of those kiddos that would sing parts of songs, and she loved Mary Had a Little Lamb and Someone's in the Kitchen with Dinah. She could also fill in familiar closed sentence prompts with the correct word. So she, of course, loved, brown bear, what do you see? I see a looking at me, and she could totally fill in those blanks, right? But she didn't use her speech to request. She didn't use her speech functionally, not even to protest or to get attention. Instead, she would toss objects, and she would, she came to us very tactile defensive, probably from all those years of hand over hand instruction. Even more, we tried things like activating a switch for cause and effect, but she often tossed those switches and would do that rather than communicate with them. So why was Ari's speech not functional? On the CDT matrix, Ari's speech is her intentional response, but why wasn't she using it to communicate? Believe me, I tried. I tried all the SLP tricks of modeling. I, set up some communicative temptations, started, a song that she might like and stopped it, and had her tried to have a request for more. And I would model, but it really wasn't working. Sometimes she would imitate me, and that was great, but it really didn't go beyond that. So again, why was Ari not using her speech more functionally? And I want to argue that it was because over the years, all of her instructors really did not explicitly teach her how. And for our tough kiddos like Ari, the CDT matrix helps us really figure out and break down what we are doing wrong, what we can do better, and reminds us that it's not Ari, it's our instruction, our teaching that needs to change. Okay. So let's look at the cognitively demanding task matrix. Again, her intentional one, level one response is her speech, right? And it's at level two, at that stimulus control, where our instruction must start. And we needed to provide better instruction for her. We needed to set up the situation so she could really learn that using her speech can be done, it can be communicative, right? So we started partner-assisted auditory scanning with Ari. And I know that many of you know that partner-assisted scanning is essentially a mode of communication, right? For some non-speaking complex communicators. A partner would scan through choices, in Ari's case, auditory choices, like a waiter would do at a restaurant, list off the specials. In Ari's case, the communication partner would list some choices and then repeat them again, scanning through them with enough wait time after each choice so that Ari has time to respond with a yes. That's the one I want. We also gave Ari some additional tactile prompts, also part of that stimulus control. Because she's blind, the TVI at our school, McGann, suggested tactile symbols. So we use this yes tactile symbol on a large slanted board surface on her wheelchair tray. So at the CDT matrix level 2, we taught Ari with partner assisted scanning and this tactile symbol that if she hears a yes no question with that exaggerated rising intonation, which is how we introduced it, all Ari had to learn to do was respond yes. She could touch the yes or say yes. We then made a pod book for her, a pragmatically organized dynamic display communication book or script modeled after those by the amazing Gail Porter. And Ari's communication partners could then ask yes, no questions in an organized and systematic routine. And then Ari could have access to more language and learn to anticipate when to respond yes to the choice she really wanted to express. The pod gave her the opportunity to generalize her communication to a variety of choices in a greater variety of contexts. And so that's all that beautiful level 3 generalization piece that we wanted to include in our instruction, so that she could use the pod and use partner assisted scanning and use that yes response with the OT and the PT and the adaptive phys ed teacher and during music, during art. But we couldn't stop there. Right, once she started doing that, we also wanted to take that pod book and partner assisted auditory scanning and provide her with an opportunity to make conditional discriminations, to take her to that level 4 on the cognitively demanding task matrix. And that we gave her opportunities where we really wanted her to stop and think, do I really want to answer yes to this question you're asking? So we added a no tactile symbol to her wheelchair tray, and we asked yes, no choice making questions where yes was not always the correct response. At level 4 on the CDT matrix, we needed to teach Ari that she could use that no symbol or say no to tell us, no, that's not the one I want, or no, I don't like this, or no, I don't want to be all done, or even, direct someone's behavior and tell them, no, don't do it, right? So level 4 was hugely important to increase her independence and her communication in general. And then we, of course, wanted that pod and that partner assisted auditory scanning to be generalized across the school day. So have her use this with, again, a variety of communication partners during a variety of school tasks and routines throughout the school day. So the pod book and really taking apart her instruction and teaching her how to use that in partner assisted scanning, all of that really gave Ari and her communication partners a language system, a script that she could learn as well, one that helped organize her processing of language through pragmatics and a variety of communicative functions. So the pod book supported her overall communicative competence. It gave her opportunities to expand her linguistic skills so that she could understand and have access to more words and phrases. It also gave her the opportunity, as long as we, continued our explicit instruction and consistent use of the pod book, so she could learn, so Ari can learn how to operate this communication system, so that she can learn to say no until she hears the choice she wants, and guide the partner to the message she wants to express. The pod also expanded upon the communicative functions that she had access to, so that Ari could give her opinion, ask questions, share information, ask for help. And throughout the pod book, we wanted to give her access to messages that said, read the choices again or go back to the main page. We needed in her pod book as well to provide her with the language to be strategic during her communication breakdowns. So we have introduced you to two really important tools we use at the Carter, the communication matrix and the cognitively demanding task matrix. And we use them, as we said, to improve our communication instruction at the Carter. But we also use these tools to look at our literacy instruction, using the context of a comprehensive literacy curriculum. We are able to target our students' communication skills, and we have found that our students have so much more to say when we give them something to talk about, and when that something is literacy. So how does literacy fit into all of this? In so many beautifully and authentic, unbelievable ways. I would like to argue that one of those ways is the psychosocial aspects that Light speaks of as being so crucial to the acquiring of communication competence. Just like a good book will motivate us and inspire us, books give us courage and confidence as we learn to relate to a character or learn something new in a research study. Literacy and literature can do the same for our students. And as for me, as an SLP and teacher, books and reading and teaching reading to our students is that context an awesome context to teach communication?